Hello, Mike. I would like you to tell me about how you started this adventure and what did you learn in the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started home brewing on the East Coast, where I'm from, Philadelphia, and then I moved to San Francisco, California, and at that point in my life, I wanted to become a brewer after home brewing a little bit, and so I applied to many different breweries in the city. Nobody wanted to hire me, but I started working in a brew pub.
Where?
21st Amendment.
Okay,
it's close to the Giants Stadium in San Francisco.
In San Francisco. Yeah.
And so after a year, they allowed me to do an apprenticeship in the brewery.
Yeah.
And so I stayed there for a year, and I learned all about making beer, cleaning lines, developing recipes, ordering ingredients, and everything. So it was a complete training of
the hard work.
The hard work. Yeah. And then after that, I thought I learned everything I needed to know to open a brewery. And I still wanted to do that, but I took a break. I went back to school, studied other things.
Yeah, because your studies were not about beer. It was, yeah. It was.
I studied environmental management.
Yeah.
So
in DC.
In North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. And in DC, you spent time in
DC is where I met Thomas,
yeah.
And this was before I went to California. This is where I had started to make beer.
Okay. In your home, in
my
okay.
my kitchen or friend's kitchen.
Okay.
Really. But then after that, after some time, I moved back to my hometown, Philadelphia, and I got a job brewing at Flying Fish,
yeah.
Which is a medium-sized craft brewery in the United States. There I learned to make beer on a large scale in a production facility.
Okay. Yeah.
And this was really useful to see all the sanitation and just working to create a lot of beer very efficiently. I learned about filtration.
How much time did you stay there?
I was there for just about 3 years.
So it's a long time.
And right after that I came here.
Between which year and which year?
This would be 2010 to 2013.
And when did you stay in Japan? I think you stayed a few years in Japan?
I was there for between 4 and 5 years in Japan.
Okay. And for what purpose?
Well, my wife is from Japan.
Okay.
So this was the reason that kept me going back.
It's a good reason, yeah.
But I was teaching English.
Okay. But you didn't
translations and importing work.
But you didn't touch to the beer.
No.
The beer thing there.
I drank a lot of beer.
Yeah. Okay. what Japanese beer did you like most?
So I lived in the north of Japan in Sapporo, and there was a few really nice beer bars. There was Mugishite, which is owned by an American guy. There's also Higurashi, which is a great Japanese craft beer bar.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the beers from Baird Brewing in Numazu, Shigakogen, the Yahoo Brewing beers, several others from around Sapporo. There's a lot of local beers there too.
And so how did you have the idea that making beer in France was an interesting adventure? And considering France is not a beer country and it's not obvious to sell beer maybe here.
Yeah, I think after visiting here a few times and talking for a long time with Thomas, we realized that even though France isn't a craft beer country, people drink a lot of beer in France still. And French people have a really close connection to taste and food. People enjoy spending time thinking about food, talking about food, and beverages, mostly wine and spirits. But it really seemed like a natural fit also for France to enjoy thinking more about the beer they drink. Because if they're drinking beer anyway, they might as well be drinking better beer, we thought. And we thought it was good timing to do this project here, and especially close to Paris, where you have a lot of restaurants and and bars that we thought would be interested in this kind of beer.
And starting a business here is not difficult to your perception?
If it was just me,
Yeah.
I'm sure it would have been extremely difficult. But Thomas has been living in Paris for, I guess, 7 or 8 years now, and so he knows the market, and he worked in the business side of things here in Paris, so he was able to find a lot of people to advise him, and it was okay, actually. It wasn't too bad.
Okay, and can you just show us exactly what's going on here?
So right now, the cereals that we use to make the beer are inside this vessel. We've already lifted it out. And so now we're left with a sugary liquid. And that noise you hear is the pump circulating this sugary liquid. And we're heating it up to boiling temperature. So right now we're just heating up what will become the beer.
Okay. Do you know which beer will it be? What's the name? What's the name?
This is our Mission Pale Ale.
Okay.
So it's going into this tank here. I already brewed it yesterday once, so we're brewing 2 batches into this tank. And so the second batch will go in on top of the first batch, and we'll have 10 hectoliters of it.
So Mission is in reference to your experience in San Francisco?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so Mission Street, I lived on Mission Street in 26th in the Mission District. And Thomas visited me back in 2004. And we brewed our first batch of homebrew together.
Okay, so it was
it's a bit of a homage.
The first try. Yes. Okay.
Together.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.